everyone, welcome to Watch It Paints It. In this video, we're just going to do a quick unboxing of the Army Painter's brand new wet palette. I didn't know they were making a wet palette. Did you know they were making a wet palette? There's a wet palette, guys. So, brand new. This product's just come out. I don't think it's even out yet as and when I'm recording this video. I have to, disclaimer, they have sent me this free of charge up front so I can do a little unboxing review, that sort of thing, get used to using it. And if you're unaware, I do quite often use a wet palette now, so I'm getting used to using them a little bit. So let's crack this open just so you can see what is inside. We'll have a look at the box a little bit to begin with, just so we can see what they say is included. So you get 2 hydrofoams. They're the foams that slurp up the water and hand it out to your paints, and then you get 50 hydro sheets. That's what you put on top of the foam to put your paint on for the water to seep through from. And this is apparently the best way to keep your wall paints fresh and ready. First thing I noticed, and I wowed when I opened it in the box, is it's red and black. It's Watch It Paint It. Like I'm surrounded by red and black bits and pieces from my desk to match the channel, so I could not believe it was red and black. Do you think that's on purpose? Actually, I don't know if there's multiple colours and they purposely picked this one for Watch It Paint It. I'd like to think they chose these colours for all of them because of Watch It Paint It's sweet colours. Anyway, you get a safety strap to hold it together. There's a bottom and a top, and then there's this cool brush holder in the middle, which is interesting because I've been wondering how to store my brushes because they're sort of all over the place. I have my rack and my beam to the side, which is great for while I'm painting, but sometimes I need to tidy up and clear my desk so it can be polished, etc. And I'm always like, where should I put my brushes? And I just chuck them in a drawer. But this could potentially be somewhere sweet to hold it. So it says it's perfect for acrylic paints, the hydrofoam sheets, hard plastic cover for safe transport, protected with anti-mold agent. That's really important. That's one of the things that put me off wet palettes when I first started painting. I actually got one straight away and it just went mouldy, so I was not impressed. So this is great that it's anti-mold. Now let's have a peek inside. It's quite a thick box. Hoping there's lots and lots of stuff inside, but I think we've seen it all. Whoops, smash into the camera. Let's just get everything out. And that's the box empty. So the first thing I noticed is this Wargamers Army Painting Guide, which, as I mentioned, every time I get one of these, it's actually surprisingly good. I thought this was, you know, just a useless thing, but actually it's got quite a lot of tips in there, which are super useful for a brand new painter. And they include it basically free in every product they do. So I think good, fair play to them. It gets people up and running. So a little bit of packaging, a little bit of padding. And then what have we got here? Is this that's just like a bit of protection, I think, to not let the strap wear on the logo. So yeah, that band's nice, a bit of branding. I do care a little bit about branding, you know, I'm a bit of a fanboy to some extent. I think it's just sometimes nice to have something that's a brand, right? I think there's plenty of things out there that are branded, so that's nice. That's just to keep that lid down nice and secure. One thing I noticed is that doesn't feel super airtight. So I can imagine the water may or may not evaporate. I'm going to try not to do a review now because, like with all of the products, I like to use it for ages, absolutely months, if not years, before I get around to doing a review, because I actually want to let you guys know how it holds up to actually being used. One thing I do notice is that is absolutely sweet looking. That's a really beautiful design in my opinion. I know that's subjective, but I just like the curves. It feels nice. It feels really thick. It feels really sturdy. I can't really bend that plastic. Nice logo across it, and then red and black. Sweet. So let's just pop this open now and have a look at the inside. It's shiny, shiny plastic. Nice little bit here. So this is what they're saying can hold your Army Painter brushes, I think. Oh, nice. The triangle ones fit not perfectly snugly. I mean, they're snug, but would they fall out? Yes. But with the lid on, would they fall out? No. So with the lid in position, they're pretty securely placed there. So you can get all your triangular brushes in there. What do you call these brushes? The Wargamer range, isn't it? And then your other brushes can just be chucked in here. Whoa, how many can get in there? About 8 million. Does that one fit? Ah, the makeup brush doesn't fit, but a bunch of brushes there. So I think that's quite a nice little feature. Store some brushes. Basically, the majority of what you need to transport if you are moving around to paint. And then thick, sturdy base underneath. Now, the one thing I do notice, and like I said, try not to do a review up front, but there is no rubber seal on that. So I just can't, it's not airtight like some other wet pallets are, which would just keep the moisture in a bit longer, but it is nice looking, nice and light, even though it's quite thick. So yeah, that's it, guys. There's not a lot more to say. Oh, one thing I have noticed using wet pallets is I really do like this size, this format of wet palette. It's not particularly big, but when miniature painting, you don't need that much space, and it's much nicer that it doesn't occupy an infinite amount of space next to you. It's quite small and compact. And then, yeah, it's got the travel strap and the bit for the brushes, so you can just pick that up and go with you. Do remember, if you do that though, it is compact enough to move around, but the paint is going to slide, so make sure you know, take that sheet out before you do that and take it elsewhere. And that's it, guys. That is Army Painter's brand new wet palette, and I'll leave a link in the description below if you want to go and check it out. I completely forgot to mention all of the other parts of the kit, didn't I? It was such a big box, and I'm so used to it just being this, but there's all the stuff to go in. So it's got some instructions, always handy. What's this saying? It's explaining how the war paints make with a ridiculously heavy pigment. So basically, yeah, just before shake paint, ready for use. It doesn't say shake paint for 4 to 5 hours. Should mention that, shouldn't it? But yeah, strong paint. And then it explains how much you should use the brushes. Don't use too much paint on that, and clean with cold water. Shows you the full range of paints as well. Little number, email address even to contact if anything's broken in here. Always handy. And then what have we got here? Here's the hydration foam I mentioned. Let's just pop one open so we can see it. Oh, it's damp to begin with. Just a smidge damp. Oh, again, it's branded. So just in case nobody's seen how to use one of these, you do pop that in here like so. Pretty snug fit, actually. It's like a full sheet worth fitting in there. It's got that fold in it, which is a bit irritating, but I guess it'll come out over time. And then you get a sheet of this hydration paper. Oh, you should fill this with water first so it's nicely saturated, but I won't go and do that because I'll have to go away for a bit and come back. Then you just get one of these sheets, and when this is wet, it will stick more easily to it. But yeah, you just place that snugly on top, and it, as I mentioned, when it's wet, it will sort of stick to it, but it's curling away, which isn't as helpful as it could be in this demonstration. But we'll try this out in some videos coming up. Let me know if you'd like to see more about this. Thank you all ever so much for watching. I'll see you again soon.